Have you ever wondered what God's glory looks like, or even what God looks like? Did you know there's a guy in the Bible who saw God? Yeah, this guy wrote 5 books of the Bible and not one word about what God looks like. Thanks, Moses. In Exodus 33, Moses asked God, "Can I see your glory?" And God said, "I will allow my goodness to pass in front of you. You won't be able to see my face, but you can see my back, a little bit of it." I love this idea of him seeing God's back because it's a picture of us following God. We can't turn around and see God's face if we're following him, but we can see his back. Anyways, God connects this idea of his goodness and his glory and seeing his face and back. So I looked up the scriptures that are related to seeing God's glory and seeing God's goodness, and I came up with 3 ways that I think we can see God. First, through creation. God created everything and said it is good. And if it comes from God and it's good, it's an example of God's goodness. Also, Psalm 19:1 says the heavens declare the glory of God, and Psalm 34:8 says taste and see that the Lord is good. So when we experience all of the things that God created, we see God's goodness. Number 2, the person of Jesus Christ. Who Jesus was and what he did showed God's goodness, and he showed God's glory. Hebrews 1:3 talks about how Jesus is the brightness of God's glory and the image of God. And Jesus himself said, "He who has seen me has seen the Father." With that, when you see Jesus' work on the cross, where he paid the penalty for our sin, and we have the opportunity to accept that free gift of salvation, we have the opportunity to invite the Holy Spirit, a part of God. Actually, the Holy Spirit is God. We invite the Holy Spirit into our lives to cleanse us from sin and to change us. Then we have the opportunity to also show God's goodness and God's glory to others. Matthew 5:16 says that when others see our good works, they will glorify God. So, if you want to see God, look at creation, look at Jesus Christ, and do something good for God and for others, and you'll see God. Those are my thoughts. Feel free to share yours.